Oh, I did that. Nice. And we actually survived. Mostly. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Vanilla. Well, it's about time we got back to working on these mountains that I wireframed out a few episodes ago. And one of the first things that I want to do here is clear out the inside a little bit. I want to remove all of the trees, maybe light it up. Ooh, that's a big project. But I do have a little client-side mod which is very helpful called Lighty, where if I hit F8, it shows me little squares of like carpet on the ground to indicate whether or not it is spawn-proof. If I then put down a torch, I can see the range of it. You could do this with F3 by just having a look at the block light, and I can work this out. So essentially this is just a time saver for me. You don't actually need a mod. So once I've removed all the trees, I'd probably go around trying to make sure it was all lit up so that we didn't have a giant mob farm at nighttime, and especially once these mountains are constructed. And it's going to give me a lot of space underneath to start setting up some farms if I wanted to. Because not only are these going to be impressive in their own right, being large mountains in the area, but they're also going to be a loaded section that provides a bunch of space for farms that I might want to be loaded in chunks that I'm working around, especially if I'm going to be doing a lot of building in this area. So I think having a nice clean slate also means that if I wanted to, say, grab a bunch of grass, I could take all of the dirt and grass off the top of the insides of the mountains, leaving it as stone and giving myself a good amount to put onto the outside again. So all in all, removing the trees is just a good step. It's going to take me a little while though, and I'm very grateful that I managed to get this netherite axe back up and running. So I think what I'm going to do is go searching for all of the leftover empty shulkers that I have left. Pretty sure I put them down here. I've got a couple there, and I'm sure I can reorganize some of this. Getting a little bit of a chest monster going up in some different places with these shulker boxes. But I think we can do some work, maybe transfer these over into the nice storage room, and then I can use those shulkers and just, likely on a live stream, go around and chop up a bunch of trees. I think there's nothing to it but to get to it. So I'm going to sort myself out some shulker boxes, and I'm going to put this axe to use in my lumberjack outfit. Yeah. And we're going to get some work done. Let's chop some trees. All right. Well, sorry for the little bit of flashing in that time lapse because we were going through days at breakneck speed, but that was about 7.5 hours of non-stop wood chopping. With that being said, we now have a nice clear area under here, and I've started to think about what I want to work on next. If we want to start doing stuff like this, you can see I've added a little bit of a boundary, starting to plot out where the cliff face will go. I'm going to need so much stone. Now, if we go down into here, I do have a decent little bit remaining, but that's very quickly going to disappear. And this is good for doing some initial setups and maybe some more of those lines across the bottom for boundaries. Actually, buddy, I can take that stick back now. Thank you. And yeah, nice. That's filling up. But we're very quickly going to need a lot more stone. Like a lot more. So that's what I've been thinking about. How am I going to achieve that? And I think first step is organizing ourselves some fuel for a super smelter. I suppose I should talk about the plan. I did mention it slightly when we were doing the terraforming and I had a look at some of the worlds where I'd worked on mountains before, but the plan is to make a cobblestone generator that generates all of the stone that we will need for this, but we're going to have to turn that stone into smooth stone. And so I'm going to need a bunch of fuel. So cobblestone and a super smelter are on the list, but I think what I want to tackle first is the fuel aspect of things. So just inside the mountain here, we can create ourselves a little archway, a little door going into the mountain, and this will stay underneath and be a perfect spot because just down in this cave, it's sort of all connected through here. And I could probably have access via this little walkway if I just do a little bit of digging. Now I have been fiddling around in a super flat world in creative, just trying to work out how I want to go about it. And I think I want to set myself up for future proofing. I'm sure it's not too long before we get those auto crafters from the next Minecraft update. Things seem to be getting close to coming to fruition and getting a new update. So I'm going to make myself a kelp farm that we can eventually add the auto crafter to and start to generate automatically kelp blocks. Now, whether I work out a way to make the kelp blocks self-sustainable so they fuel making more, or whether I make a smaller little section for a bamboo farm that powers the cooking of the smelts, we'll have to see what happens. But I think, first things first, I should just start generating a decent amount of kelp. So I'm going to get to work, digging my way down through here. I've set up my beacon, and I'm just going to do a double-sided sort of waterfall style kelp farm, similar to something that I did in my first Let's Play, and set myself up with a good amount of kelp to start turning into fuel. That way we'll have it generating and ready to go for once I have the cobblestone generator and we can start making stone flat out. So let's get started and see if I can get something set up. Probably going to have to just quickly time lapse this one too. Ah, perfect. I probably need both of those actually. Okay, so another couple of hours and we now have ourselves a little kelp farm. Let's just duck across to where I made it. I'm trying to think how it would work walking wise, and we'll just have this little path going up in here to this. Now, this is the scary part. I'm going to put away some of these. Let's just keep 2 on us. Now, I think I have built this correctly. I haven't followed a design or anything like that. This is just my own creation, but I believe I should be able to put water along here. Let's just take that out of our hand. Oh, it's not quite allowing me to grab that. Okay. There's 2 ways that I could go about this. So that first one, not going to work. So the second way that I can do this is fill in the water down below. Now I'm going to grab those and we're just going to go through and start filling it all in. Okay. From there, I can place a single piece of kelp on each block. And I should be able to now, oh, ow. Now, ow. Perfect. First try. Come up to this top layer and just do this. Can I pick up? I can't. So I've got to do, I've got to not put the kelp in just yet. Organize all the water first. Now that should break across here, right? Troubleshooting. Right now it's not doing anything because it hasn't updated fully, but once the middle block becomes a full one like this, yes, that should force an update and make it so that they all flow over the glass panes. So I set it up like this. Once it has grown enough, like grown into the second slot, it will update all that water like so. That's eventually going to reach the point where it's all coming up and floating out. And then these growing should Yeah, they do grow into the flowing water. So even when the pistons here remove the source block of water, having a source block above and having a source block below means that it will constantly refresh and be able to grow. Perfect. So I should be able to mimic that for the next few layers. I just need to pick up some of that water. Oh, and stop falling. Yeah, let's get it completely sorted. And just like that, both sides are full. Now, this side you can see is still a little bit scuffed. It's still trying to work itself out. But a proof of concept that this is working is over on this side. And here I can talk about a little bit of what was potentially going to be a design flaw. Oh, there we go. Got a bunch coming through. In the difference between both sides, this is actually a perfect opportunity. So, let me just... Oh, nope, not like that. Let me just get up here. So I have my hitboxes on at the moment, and as you can see, there are some of them sitting by themselves in that side over there. But on this side, it doesn't seem to be happening at all. Now what that is the kelp being unable to go up and float through the water because the block above it is pushing downwards. It is currently not a source block. But the beauty of the way that I've designed it with minimal of these observers is within the time frame of that despawning, or the 5-minute despawn timer, the piece of kelp underneath it should grow. It's pretty rare for it not to grow within that time, and as such, it's going to allow that to flow up and out the top. So if that did so happen to get stuck, like that one for example down there, the rare occasion that that happens, the kelp should grow underneath that and allow it to come up anyway. So loss in this should be pretty minimal. There's a piece just there, but once, oh, we actually got a friend, but once the block above it, or once the kelp underneath these grows, it is going to turn that into a source block, allowing it to flow up to the top and then flow down to the bottom. So now that these are all running, yeah, we're getting plenty of kelp. I had to use this growing to make up for the rest of it. So we should see a decent supply coming in now. Cool. Cool. This is great. What do you reckon, buddy? You've been underwater for a while. Now, it looks like this one is fully done, and this is going to take a little bit of time, but eventually all of those top pieces of water will be flowing as well. And the last thing that I should probably do is put a little bit of a top on this one. For now, we'll just do it out of this. That will stop the top pieces from getting stuck, like so. And the whole thing should be operational. I am tempted to wait around for that, but I just saw a creeper spawn. I'm going to turn off these hitboxes and we're going to have a little sleep. I tell you what, the days have been flying by in-game. It was only a few episodes ago that I hit 750 days, and we're now at 835. I've been working. This episode's been a bit of a grindy one. We have been putting in the time to set up some things, clear out our space underneath here. Oh, cheeky. And yes, this is all work that is being done. How did you fall down there? We are going to put a top over this so they can't spawn. So that's not going to be a problem for too much longer. But we may have a couple of things coming into the bottom. That's fine. Now, obviously, like I said, this is all being prepared with the Auto-Crafter in mind. I'm going to be able to do this manually for the time being, but the Auto-Crafter is going to turn this into something special. Look at all of that kelp. But, of course, there are a few people who are already playing around with the Auto-Crafter, including, well, Hermitcraft. I'm sure if you're watching my videos, you have heard of Hermitcraft and most likely watch it yourself. And they have it already as a data pack. And I sort of thought I'd put the question to you guys. Do you think I should download the same thing and get it into this world a little bit before it is added with the update so that we can start setting this stuff up and auto-crafting away and kind of getting a little bit ahead of the curve as far as being able to produce this mountain range rather than waiting for it? I think it would probably be okay and we could fiddle around and set this up. Hopefully nothing broke, but we could fix that if it did. But I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. For now though, let's try and organize a little bit of storage for this, because this is going to build up very quickly. Now, can I float down here and see where this comes out, or if it comes out at all? Let me have a look at my coordinates. I'm at Y level 60, 141, negative 987, negative 987, negative 987, 141. Okay, so we were just about to pop out over here somewhere. If I went down to Y level 60 like this and went across to 987, give me some light. Ah. Ooh, where does that pop in? Almost at the end. Ooh, okay, that kind of works. Let's do something here. I'm going to block that in. And I'm going to set up a way for that to come over to here. In fact, it's probably not a bad idea to, instead of this going up, yeah, we're kind of at the right height there. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to punch in a little room in here and we'll sort out our storage from there instead. That sounds like a good idea. That way it's all connected to this cave. I like it. Nice. So now I have myself a very basic little storage room down here. I haven't gone too serious about turning it into cave-like structure or really editing much other than just making sure it's the space available, because it's very likely that over time this will change and I'm probably going to punch some more stuff into the side here. I think even when I originally made this cave, I did mention the idea of putting a super smelter in there, so I don't mind the idea of punching through and putting that underground and then up on top, if I can, oh nice, I got it out there perfectly. Let me just sleep. But up on top, I continue this area here, maybe put a bridge across the middle. Yeah, I really do need to do something about them falling in there. Put a bridge across the middle and use that section over there as my cobblestone generator. Now, I've kind of told myself, and this is completely my own choice and not something that I necessarily encourage other people to do, but I've told myself that I'm going to try and do this playthrough without TNT duping. So I could make a cobblestone generator with a TNT duper, and that would obviously solve the problem. But I think with the crazy good just out there, the crazy good creeper farm that we have, I like the idea of trying to do it manually. So we'll have to build up a decent supply of TNT and feed it into this cobblestone generator that we make. And then from there, maybe I'll just quickly go into free cam to see. If that drops down right about where that storage room is, a cobblestone generator over here should be able to drop down. Oh, I didn't actually realize, but of course it makes sense. When I was digging into here, there was an opening, so we can probably use this existing open cave and just clear it out a little bit more to make room for a super smelter. Okay, good to know. Yeah, look at all that. In fact, it hasn't taken me too long, so it hasn't been running for a super long time. But let's have a look and see how much I've stored. Oh, okay, good. Not too bad. And there's a little bit more too. I have no idea what the rates for this would be. It's maybe something that I could do a little test of and just see how much is made over a certain period of time. But I'm not too worried about the rates because this doesn't have to run constantly. This is something that we will try to just allow to build up over time. And then we can make use of it in little bursts. I reckon they are probably in that cave. Where was that? Hello? Oh, there's a whole section in here. Okay. Because I knew I'd lit this up. But yeah, we're definitely going to punch our way into something greater. Okay. Okay. We'll just ignore that for now. And you can see the back of my my machine. Beautiful. Where did I come out of? Ah, just here. So we now have a steady supply of kelp coming in, and that will build up. The next thing that we will need to do is set ourselves up with a smoker super smelter. Not necessarily the main one that is going to smelt all of the stone down. There's going to be two in here. A smaller one, which handles the kelp and turns it into dried kelp for dried kelp blocks. And then from there, we're going to have a larger super smelter that will be automatically fed the kelp blocks and hopefully allow us to turn it on and make ourselves stone as quick as we like. Not going to be super automated, but there is going to be minimal effort required from us, I'm hoping, Just a little flick of some switches. Did not mean to do that. But a little flick of some switches and we should be able to generate stone. Nice. Very nice indeed. From there, it's whether I decide to set up a bit of a connection between these two. And I'm thinking maybe I want to change this to, rather than accepting normal stone. Actually, no. Maybe I'll keep that accepting normal stone and I'll make a secondary storage for shulker boxes full of stone. So we make a shulker box loader connected to over here. And this is where I go for bulk stone. And when I just want stuff to use in general, or I want to store a little bit for general use, that can happen in the main storage room. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. All right. So what I might do is just double check and go up and have a look at the farm, make sure that it is all running correctly. In fact, I can probably stand down here and just go up with my free cam. Wonderful timing. We can see that flowing down there. That's beautiful. And it does look like this side has completely filled in across the tops. That's wonderful. Good. I know it's working. Perfect. Swoop. Okay then. Well, I need a little bit more glass. At the moment, I've just been gathering it by coming over to Mandalorian just here and doing that. But, yeah, that's going to take me a little bit of time. Thank you. Also, while I've been working around here, I'm sure this has been filling up. I'm going to have to deal with that. And I think I also need to add a little bit of an extra slot or extra spot onto the back of this that takes any excess and composts it, or maybe destroys it, because that is not quite full just yet. At least I don't think so, but I'm sure it's not far away. So a little bit of an adjustment on the back of here would be smart. There's just lots of little things that getting back into this world properly, I'm like, oh yeah, there's maintenance to be done. There's a few untouched, unresolved problems that I just need to work on and make sure that they are fixed up. And we've got plenty of more building to do as well. For now though, this feels good. This feels like some nice progress. This is going to take a little bit of glass. Buddy, you're going to get stuck in there. I guess I'm just going to do some trading with the Mandalorian, do a little bit of tidying up, and then we can call this a completed farm. Honestly, not exactly what I was expecting to get done after working on the trees to start this episode off, but honestly, I can't complain with where we ended up. That's nice. Pretty sure I have a little bit of glass here too. Yeah. Let me get that covered up. Oh boy. One librarian is really not enough. It's really not enough to get ourselves all the glass that we need. Ooh, you refreshed your trades though. Thanks. I spent a little bit of time just organizing and crafting up some melons and letting that flow through now, and I've mostly healed my tools up. But I think before we finish this episode, there is one more place that we need to go. Let me just use the last of this glass. Now, even though I did just say that one librarian isn't enough for the glass that we need, realistically, a little bit of patience and we will get this covered up. But I want to go and check another very important thing that is kind of related to glass, and that is I had somewhere, way out somewhere, I had myself a farming or a kind of mining desert, one that I could go to and gather a bunch of sand for the TNT. And I want to see if I can remember where that is, because if we are going to start setting ourselves up with a bunch of TNT for both gathering stone and also doing some other stuff in here in the nether, it would be worthwhile remembering how to go get myself a bunch of sand. So I think it was somewhere over this direction, and we're just going to fly and see what we can find. Did I just see some purple? Surely I didn't just see some purple. No. Now, we do have the map mod installed, and I can, at some point, just use that. But just for the first attempt at least, I'm going to do it old school. I'm going to see if I can find that portal. Pretty sure I stumbled across it accidentally anyway. The other option I have is going in the overworld and finding it that way, then coming back through the portal and marking down the coordinates. It's very possible that that might be my best course of action, because I can't quite remember where it was. And I don't see it anywhere nearby. Oh, hello. Alright, let's head back before I get too lost, and I'll do it that way. Yeah, before I get too lost, he said. Oh boy. Okay, I should have done it this way the first time. Pretty sure it was out that direction. And I'm going to fly that way without checking my map, because I could just find this out instantaneously. But I'm going to do it just to prove to myself that I can. Wait, is this it? No, but that's a decent bit of sand if I ever needed to grab some. Okay. Pretty sure it's further then, I guess? I know what I'm doing, right? Wow, that is a lot of coral. Also good to know. Probably should have bought a bed too. No, it's fine. I've got ender chests. That's not it. I think I'm going the wrong direction. But this is another really nice place to gather some sand if I need it. Okay. That's a good sized desert. What is this? Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, this is how we know I definitely haven't been out here, because that water is just going... Look at this cave. Wow. Well, if we ever want to do a cave build, we know where to look. That is wild. I'm kind of glad that I went the wrong way. Wow. Okay, well, how about that? I need to come back here with some... Wait, do I have some? I don't have any night vision. Well, I'll keep that in mind. But this is not where I've been before. So, at a certain point, you just got to get over it. And let's have a look. It was north, wasn't it? It was north. Yep. It was way up straight. I've gone way off to the side here. Okay, this direction. Let's get ourselves to our mining desert. Here we go. And another crazy amount of coral. This is where I came to. All right. So this is far enough away that I don't mind completely removing all of the sand from this biome. And so what we're going to do is pop back through here before we get attacked and take down the coordinates of the nether side, which is -190, -713. Okay, I'm just going to take a screenshot of that. From here, I should be able to head south, and it should be pretty much straight away that way. It's a lot less travel than in the overworld, so let's just slide our way through here. This way, and wow, that is so close. Okay, let me see if I can find my way there again from memory. So the best way for me to do it is to probably come onto this side, down here, and through that little gap, or this one. This way. And there it is. Beautiful. Okay, okay. Wonderful. And this actually, this might work out well. Sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing, but this is a funny little end to the episode, because I'm just kind of starting to come up with some ideas while playing. And you're all here for that brainstorming, I suppose. This, if that's going to be a mining desert and somewhere where I need to get a lot of TNT, or more to the point, I need the sand for TNT. And one of the things that I want that TNT for is a under the nether perimeter. Now that under the nether perimeter wants to be inside a nether wastes so that we can turn it into a gold farm. And in between there and our main base, this is a big nether waste. So maybe just off the edge of a perimeter is this portal, a way for me to get to the desert to get some more sand. And we'll probably remove most of the sand from that desert and maybe put the perimeter somewhere in here. That's going to be a lot of work though. My goodness. I can get out of this, right? But we now have coordinates for that portal, and I can go back there and gather a bunch of sand when I have the time. Beautiful. Let's head home, grab a little bit more glass, and finish off that farm. Oh, that's so frustrating. Surely 2 pieces of glass somewhere. Could I just go get 2 pieces of sand and smelt it? Yes. But it's about the principle. My goodness. Surely. Oh, also, how's my iron farm been going? Oh, good. Very good. Absolutely perfect. Ah, there we go. The worst part is I went all the way out to that desert and literally didn't get any sand. And I have none in storage. I looked, but there we are. We have a covered over kelp farm. We've discovered where our desert is, which is nice. We've got ourselves a little bit of a storage room down here and are starting to collect up a decent little bit of kelp so we can start to use that for fuel. And on top of all of that, something I don't think I even mentioned after we did that initial time lapse, I got a lot of wood. Like a lot of wood. Like a lot. So that's nice. But with all of that and getting to this point, I think we're going to leave it here. I hope you all enjoyed and I hope you're looking forward to some more. I think the kelp farm turned out really well. And I think it's going to be a good option for us as far as fuel goes, especially when I'm not looking to do it all in one batch. It's something that can build up and we grab stone when we need it. And let me know what you think about the auto crafter, whether you think I should try and get that working in my world and try it out. Hook it up to this and make a almost completely automatic machine that turns everything into stone. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but for now, we're going to leave it here. And I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters for your continued support. You folks are amazing. Genuinely means so much that you're willing to support me to do this. And it means that we can keep going on this series and keep working on some crazy builds. Everyone who's been watching, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you liked this as a bit of a random throw together episode. Some tree chopping, some kelp farming, all of that good stuff. But I hope you all take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye, everyone. Woo!